Well, gents, Week 12 is here, and with it, the first edition of the MFL Power Rankings. But first, let's take a look at the standings. Only one team in the MFL has managed to lock up a playoff spot so far. Eating Cats Kicking Peaches takes home that honor, but still has some work to do to lock up the first round bye. Meanwhile, the rest of the San Diego Boys division faces some uncertainty. While the Fighting Fizdales and Just Win Maybe only need to win one of their two remaining games to guarantee a playoff berth, if either were to lose their final two games and any of the bottom three teams won out, there's a chance they'd make the playoffs. In the rest of the country division, Cuddy Bell Cow sports the best record in the MFL, but still isn't guaranteed a playoff berth. With 2 games to play, his magic number is 1, and for the rest of the division outside of Pass Me the Blunt, anyone can make the playoffs. Now for the power rankings. The formula is pretty simple here. I've recorded for each week how each team ranked each week in total points scored. I then add up the row for each team, divide by the number of weeks played, to get an average number showing what their average performance is week over week. Similar to golf, the lower the number the better, and what it actually correlates out to is a ranking system that shows how all of us would stack up next to each other if we all played the same schedule. The weeks highlighted in green represent when a team finished in the top 6, and in red represent when they finished in the bottom 6. For those of you familiar with rotisserie type scoring in fantasy football leagues, this is exactly what that is. And while this will never be the way that we dictate standings in the MFL, it should provide some great group texting material for teams like Just Win Maybe and Eating Cats Kicking Peaches, who are clearly beneficiaries of weak-ass schedules.
Why wouldn't the Swami stick his neck out right out of the gates and go against some really good teams?
Good point, Chris Berman. But in our first game this week, I'm not going to have to pick against a good team because there aren't any in this one. North Park Crying Jordans and Pass Me the Blunt, Mr. Irrelevant game of this week? I'll take North Park Crying Jordans. Take This L needs to win his final 2 games just to have a chance at making the playoffs. Chalupa Batman, on the other hand, is only a .4 tiebreaker away from being in. And while the bottom half of your lineup, I'm not really stoked on, your top 4 guys I think are going to carry you this week. The win for Chalupa. In Creeble Bowl Part 1 earlier this season, Ezekiel Elliott was on a bye. In Creeble Bowl Part 2 this week, Ezekiel Elliott's done until Week 16. And while Drake's new favorite team could win their last 2 games and maybe have a chance at the playoffs, you've pretty much already given up, haven't you? Plus, I needed more. I'm taking myself in this one. After a hot start, the Fighting Fizz have lost 4 in a row here. And Dean has pretty much moneyballed his way into almost being in the playoff. The line on this one is pretty overwhelmingly in the Fighting Fizz's favor, and I just don't see them losing 5 in a row. Gonna have to take Fizz for the win in this one, although I know I'll get an earful from Dino. It was a tough call in deciding on which matchup would be game of the week, but this one being your runner-up, still a pretty good one, with Eating Cats Kicking Peaches being favored by just under 4 points. Is this the week that Kareem Hunt decides to come back and start being a top-tier running back again? Will Antonio Brown go off for 40 points against the Packers? I'm not sure, but what I do know here is the X factors are Carlos Hyde faces the Seahawks defense, while Marcus Mariota gets to pick apart the Colts defense. That one's the difference maker for me. I'll take Eating Cats Kicking Peaches. The winner between Just Win Maybe and Cuddy Bell Cow this week will guarantee themselves a playoff spot and put themselves that much closer to a first-round bye. But more than that, they'll take home honors of the winner of Game of the Week. In this matchup, you got 3 guys playing in the Oakland-Denver game. I wouldn't count on many points from any of those guys, but Le'Veon Bell is going to have his way with the Packers defense. Devontae Freeman could have a similar experience with Tampa Bay, and I bet you Adam Thielen's going to go off on Thanksgiving against the Detroit Lions D. But the real difference maker here is a trade that happened just a few weeks ago when Just Win Maybe sent Drew Brees packing over to Cuddy Bell Cow. A questionable trade, no doubt, that's paid dividends for Ron the past few weeks. Until this one when Brees has to play the Rams. That's the difference maker for me. I'll take Just Win Maybe here, but just barely. Well, no season in the MFL would be complete without Taylor Davis making an appearance. So with your fantasy expert advice from definitely a non-fantasy expert, ladies and gentlemen, number 1 in the power rankings, the start of the dynasty.
Yo, what up, doe? It's your boy, TD, aka Start of a Die. Ew, that's nasty. So I got the call this week. Well, not really, actually. This is a preemptive video for some fantasy expert advice from a real fantasy expert, aka me. And I thought I'd get this a little early, send it in to Kev so that he could be on time one time for his video deadline. Normally, but also because I wanted to document this bitchin' mustache. What day is it? Like 18 days in November? It's gonna be gone tomorrow. I'm shaving it off. I'm getting cut off of sex, and I need that shit back, so this is coming off, okay? So I'm videoing this now while you still have a chance to look at this embarrassing mustache and embrace it for what it is. And while that's going to take the majority of this video, my advice is very short and sweet to you guys, simply because it's just the truth. And at the end of the day, all I have to say is, why do you listen to anyone's advice in this fucking league? There's no reason to. No one's an expert. Everyone wants their own team to win, except maybe Landon, who's like just trying to help Sparbs at this point. I don't know. He was offering OTPHJs to everybody around the league. But why does anyone listen to your advice? No one should ever listen to someone else's advice in the league, because we're all out for our own personal gain. So at the end of the day, my advice, you can take it or you cannot. See what I did there? Don't listen to anyone else, because they just want to win. If you listen to their advice, that's because they're probably trying to undermine you. Alright? So, food for thought. Stay classy, America. Stay classy, San Diego. The rest of the country, I hope you guys all lose. I want to come in first. Started Nazi. Bye. Correction. It's the 16th of November, and that is a bitchin' mustache. And yes, my shirt is off, Kyle. And yes, I am sweaty. Embrace me for me. You love it.